Really, the NA guys are just watching from home. They can't even come here. They can't stomach it, Blood, because Complexity, they haven't been able to get a win yet with this roster. Hopefully, at some point, they can pull it off.
Yeah, shout out to Darth, Mike, and Jimmy. You guys are, I'm sure they've woken up by now.
Yeah, they're definitely watching
the hotel
this.
rooms,
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe the green room here. But yeah, Complexity, a golden opportunity for NA's brightest young prospects to finally win a series, finally win a game.
Yeah, and for Order, I just want to see more server time today. I'm sure a lot of the Australians is prime time for them to get watching this one. And you know, you're looking at Order as a team who didn't get the best of starts yesterday in a best of one versus Furia, and not the best of starts here. Team kill already for Vexai on Ajira. Junior trading that one back and actually following up on it as well. So 2 picks in for Complexity from Junior's gun, 1 from Vexai, who now goes -1 on the kill feed. And this is a shutdown for Complexity at the beginning of play.
Yeah, not the sort of start they were looking for. Ardest pointed out as well. They very correctly clinical.
And Junior looked so good yesterday, right? He actually looked really good. Complexity, a very kind of slow start into the game. Started to come back into it towards the end of the first half. Not really a lot done in the second half versus Heat. Now, I think people kind of underestimate, you know, they look at Heat and they say, okay, this isn't an organization with big superstar names in Europe. It isn't a massive org either. So people kind of underestimate, you know, what it takes to be a team at this level in Europe. It's such a difficult region to raise that skill level. And for a team like Complexity, they've only really found this team, put it together pretty recently. And, you know, if you're having to remove OC, bring in Junior, there's Grim in the team.
All memes aside, right, even though, yes, they haven't won a single game yet thus far, this particular lineup, a lot of these games have been pretty close. It took Vertigo off Gambit, you can't forget that.
The Vertigo for Gambit, that's an incredible.
That's massive, and many of the losses they had have also been very close games against some very, very good opposition. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what they have in store for us over here. I've always been a big fan of JT, his calling. You have Grim now, no longer shackled with the role he had over towards Liquid. We have Floppy, back from Valorante. We have, of course, Junior as well, looking to redeem himself from his stint over in Furia. So we have, and Fang, I love how Fang was playing for the Extra Shot lineup alongside Sonic and JT, right? So they're a great team, but I do want to touch upon Order. Yesterday, I feel like they got too much into their own heads. And they were very, very timid in the way they approached it. And Ardest said these are punish picks coming in from both the teams. So for Dust2, Order picking it, you know, they have a massive win rate on it with the caveat that it's against mainly the Australian teams. But they do have that little edge. But for me, the question mark here is Ekal. He's coming in as the stand-in, as the AWPer, and on a map like Dust2, you need to deliver.
And yesterday versus Furia, their opportunities were few and far between. They force-bought in this second round, couldn't quite make it happen, but you know, yesterday they had a couple of chances versus Furia. In particular, one of these optional clutches, you know, felt like Echo actually had a shot at maybe getting into it, but you can see the cerebral play from him. It's just playing against a team like Furia, like we said yesterday, you need match experience versus Furia. You can't just do theory crafting because it doesn't really work. You know, you can think about how you want to approach Furia, but actually dealing with him is another story. Grim shutting down this mid play with 4 kills and shuts down the first couple of rounds. Order unable to post one just yet, but here comes their buy. So AK is going to be out. This is where we get to see what Order are able to do on their T side.
Yesterday was indeed a bit of a disappointment, right? We saw Nuke being played by Order. They really seemed to. They weren't really going for any default on the T side. It was very. They had a. You know, they're like, all right, we're going to go for a fast A. We're going to go for a fast upper hit, a fast ramp take. Actually, no, they didn't go ramp a single round, the entire 15 rounds. So I hope, you know, they've probably, hopefully erased that particular memory from their minds. Nuke was never going to be easy. Dust2, you know, it's a map where we've seen upsets take place, and it is their map pick coming in against the Complexity, who are, of course, very dangerous, but again, very, very new. Opening pick, though, it's going to go the way of Ekal. He's got an AK-47, no AWP yet for the AWPer for this team. And one player I have my eyes on, Dinko, Vexai. And there you have it. He finds Floppy.
Yeah, Junior really trying to get that boost up. But look at this position from Grim. He's flanked around the backside. He's actually seen them leave mid and go into the lower tunnel. So he can call for this rotation back from his teammates who can get the B quickly. And Echo still able to react. Grim goes down. And then you got to look at the remaining players here for Complexity that rotate it back into the site. Junior's only good for 1 and JT down. Great play here from Order. They deal with a proactive play. They're able to counter the flank and the first round on the board for Order. And they keep 4 players up, Blood. That's impressive.
Vexai 3K take his name and he delivers, Dinko. It's the opposite of the Cassis curse. Yeah,
you look at Vexai, he's a player you were talking about yesterday, really wanting to see him pop off and really try and get something going for him. I think against Complexity, this is a team where you should see Order actually get into the game, show us all of the hard work they've been doing down under for all these months, and show us a little bit of something here on the international stage. It's never a good feeling when you're a Oceanic team and you come into an event like this and you just get bodied. You want to show what you're made of. You want to show that you have got what it takes, but it's hard to deal with that. Junior boosted up into the short peak. Jiro down early, and Eagle actually took a lot of damage. He's down to 1 HP right now. JT AWPing. Let's go.
The double up setup coming out very, very early indeed for Complexity. Can it still be called the Juggernaut, or do they have a
No.
different name?
No. There was no... oh, fine. Nearly gets caught in a bad position. Actually able to drop back. Smoke comes into the CT cross as he hides in behind it. 1x bet odds at the top of your screen, certainly favoring Complexity heavily into this one, and you can see why. Fine. Straight through the smoke, Grim on the follow-up, and it is just getting shut down here for Order. Disjointed, it feels like, Blood. They're not really together here. There's no options for the trade. Now Estillo has to blow up a 1 versus 5, and yeah, this one isn't too likely, but he's already found 2. Has to barrel back into the B site, and actually give him a couple of chances there for 1v1s, but Complexity will take their 4th round.
Yeah, the Lobster doing a pretty decent job there, at least finding a couple of kills, but I have to agree with you. I like the idea behind that, but you know, we saw, I think it was Fang getting that kill through the smoke as well from CD Spawn. JT as well being a little bit proactive, not just holding onto the site. Instead, he was peering towards double doors. But yeah, the timing is a little bit off on the take, but fortunately for Order, they will have enough cash to purchase the weaponry which they want to go for here.
I like how Complexity are playing the CT side so far. It feels very dynamic, right? They're not doing the same thing every round. You're going for these pick-based setups. They're not sitting back and letting Order play their game. They're actually setting Junior up for an opening pick at AWP. Short last round, now they're letting him just peer down into long. Grim's been a pretty proactive player in this long position as well. I think he's going to push that as much as he can. So Valiant is the player who is tasked with dealing with some of this long aggression, but looks like Order just playing the default for now, but the bomb is positioned outside of long.
Eco coming out on top. That's an important kill to find the IGL. JT taken down.
Oh, Grim.
Oh, Grim. Just going for the information play, right? He loses his captain. It's like, I need to find something. And perfect positioning coming in there.
Yeah, I think they've noticed where the 2 main aggression points are right now for Complexity. It's short and it's long. Junior has a chance to pull this back. Eco actually takes down Junior. In his position better. Junior just transitioning his spot over. Complexity down to 2 players in this 2v5, and Order still have 50 seconds left. They're about to hit this B site, and Floppy is not playing from inside of the site. They smoke off the door, which they should, and they have. Floppy can't really do too much about this, and this site is difficult to retake, even when you have a man advantage sometimes on that B site, so certainly in this situation, it's about grabbing that AK and AWP, Complexity into the safe call, and Order up to 2.
It's the right call from Complexity here. With it saved AWP and the rifle, they can indeed go for a buy come round number 6. Eco looking for more. Fantastic job. It was a double op setup, right? He takes on both JT, then he finds Junior as well. And I just wanted to go back to what you brought up at the beginning of this round, like Complexity and their aggression and how they approach it. One thing you will see from JT is aggressive CD side calling, being very dynamic, just pushing, poking and prodding and making your opponents feel very uncomfortable. I do feel at times he does it a little bit too much, which I've seen it happen so many times on Ancient, where they have the lead, massive lead, they have their opponents against the ropes, and then for no reason, because of the aggression, they lose a couple of rounds, and it starts to come and bite them at the end of the game. But on a map like Dust2, I feel like it gives them a little bit more freedom, right? It's a little bit more less risky. And we're going to be seeing a lot coming out from Complexity here. But for the side of Order, great start here. They needed a convincing round to be won, and they managed to do so. Because the first round they won was against a little bit of a weaker buy, kind of a bonus round for Complexity. But Eagle starting to wake up with the AWP. We could really have an interesting matchup here in Dust2.
Yeah, and shout out to Konku, who's watching from home, starting the Eagle fan club. I'm sure he's watching today for Order's second affair here at ESL Challenger. Eagle getting set up for the mid-cross. That's a good way of doing it. Obviously, with the changes to Dust2, holding from T-spawn with the AWP is a little harder. But you can jump onto your teammate's head. You can actually peek down into mid. But this is nice aggression from Fang. Straight up catwalk. He's pushed all the way outside of long, and this is a lot of information. The fact that he isn't seeing anybody is enough to pass that on. Then you can lean extra players B, and look at what Complexity you're doing right now.
This is huge. This is so much information being gleaned just by Fang pushing up top mid. And even if they do want to rotate back towards the A-bomb side, Fang's just going to be ready and waiting. And right now, nice attempt from Junior to try and land. If he landed that, I might have just lost my voice. But here they come charging in towards the B-bomb side, Dinko. And they're going to fight 2 players holding the line. Fang, Floppy, JT. 3 kills. Floppy will eventually fall. Eco having to do everything by his lonesome. A valiant attempt from him, 3K. But in the end, again, it was not to be. It's Complexity. They seal the 5th.
Eagle's looking pretty nuts mechanically, right? He's really solid.
He's on trial.
Yeah, he just throws away the AWP, picks up the M4. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself, and just does everything. But not enough in the end. Eagle, definitely signs of life out of him. Complexity, this constant aggression, unless Order deal with that early, maybe they just got to play default play just to like kind of stifle that early round aggression. And Eagle gets away with the opening.
He's been pretty fantastic thus far, despite it being very early in this map in winning these opening duels. And looking for the second, though. No flashbang assist from his teammates, and Junior is going to have no trouble lining that one up. JT with a secondary op still in play. Flash is going to pop. Brilliant flashback from Jira, but Fang replies back. He's going for the full commit on the spray.
Yeah.
It's somehow able to recover the recoil control in the AK-47, 2 headshots, and despite having the early man advantage now, it is going to be Complexity, 1 man up in a 3v2.
Eagle is getting him a lot of fragging output in these opening rounds. Your lack of support there for the second pick maybe costing him here. Valiant's looking to clear out fine. He does stick around in his position, but Grim pulls that kill back. Valiant goes down through the mid-door spray, and now Jiro starting to work his way back over towards his B side. He's into the clutch, the 1 versus 2. Certainly a chance with him in the AWP, especially if he catches one down in towards spawn. He's going to give away his position with that flash as he now uses it to cross over safely. Backing into the tunnel side for the post plant is going to be tough here. He doesn't have the utility to cross over. You'll have to try and just jump across this box. Actually might get a chance for a kill here, Black. If he turns it into a 1v1, Jira is on for the clutch. Can't find the option, and now has to look back to the tunnels because he's paranoid. He could be pushed from 2 fronts, but they've doubled up on Complexity. They go in with a flash. Jira, AWP is good, but the spacing is better from Complexity. Just the numbers that are costing the AWP, and that is Grim to pull off the round for Complexity.
Great attempt from Jiro there, but as you very correctly pointed out, the spacing was perfection there. And he finds one, but immediately Grim able to snatch up the refrag. Again, the op will be retrieved and tossed in the direction of Junior. The good thing for Order is, despite the score being 6-2, they are dealing quite a bit of economic damage, even in the rounds they're losing, right? So Complexity is still not in a very comfortable state, money-wise. 3 players on $0, and then you have Grim on 1,000 and Fang on 1,700. If somehow Order... Look, this round's looking unlikely just with the pistols, but even if they're able to take 3 guns away, which they seemingly seem to do every single time, again, it's just Complexity are not safe yet. Like this, though, double aggression towards lower tunnels, but the Tech-9 coming out on top. JT able to find 2, looking for the 3rd, but Vexite will finally find him. That's 2 rifles to retrieve, but Grimathy coming in from behind, assassinating Eagle, and they know exactly where the final 2 members are for the side of Order.
They got them locked in right now in this tunnel, so Grim, I love how he's just being so decisive when he gets the information that numbers are towards B, right? He's just immediately pushing long, getting that flank. Order need to be aware of that. Every time they stack numbers in towards B, there's so many information plays coming in from Complexity in the early round that if that info is picked up early, they've got to be aware that Grim is flanking long. He's just going to do that pretty much every time. We're going to a minute here, and Order have actually escaped the tunnels, but where did they go with this? Have a chance to go back A. Still got time for it, Blair.
I did kind of think, you know, Complexity knew both the place were towards lower tunnels, but I guess they only saw the one, which was a Vexite, so they have no eyes on where Valiance was, which is why Grim didn't push towards T-spawn and just cut off the rotation, right? So now he's going to be playing towards A, and slowly but surely, Floppy is going to be poking and prodding for a little bit of information as well. Vexite going to be leading the charge. He's got those 2 A1s picked up from JT and Fang are going to be instrumental here. They have Kevlar, no head armor, couple of smokes with the cross, 1 flashbang to try and neutralize the player who might be holding towards Cat. Grim, though, he just might rotate it the worst time possible, but the smoke is now a giveaway. Flashbang is going to pop early on, and Grim just spamming away through the smoke. They're going to cross it over. They might actually get the bomb down. Valiant's holding the line, finds Grim, and it's a 2v2.
Oh, Grim ran out looking the wrong way. Ends up just not seeing his opponent, and just in the nick of time, they get that bomb down. Floppy trying to come back in, but he goes down to Valiance, and suddenly it's all on Junior. He has no kit, no utility, and an AWP to try and retake this site. He starts coming out towards long. First pick is easy, and that kid is down in front of him. He still has time to make this clutch happen as he goes to the USP and switches it to the M4A1S. He has to reload, and Vexite has the idol, and Junior kept running with the reload, gets caught. Vexite gets the round down with a 3K. That looks truly locked in for Complexity, but Order able to pull through, and that's the money gone for the Americans.
I don't know how that went the way of Order, honestly.
Grim just needs to sit on the site there, man.
Yeah, like, they started overthinking last second. Even Junior there in the 1v1, like, just reloading out.
Running.
Just reloading right there. You could have faked a reload. I thought he was going to try and fake it out, right?
Yeah.
But no, just runs in, finds himself without a head. I thought they might be able to deal a little bit of economic damage. Instead, they get away with the round win. And for Complexity, the money, as you said, it's gone. Now they have the Deagle, the P250, the double scout. So Complexity, JT, wanting to keep the double scope action no matter whether it's the AWP or the smaller brother.
It's their Dust2 philosophy.
More scope, more hit.
Yeah, that's Furia's old logic.
Yeah.
I remember I interviewed Art after he won a game in DreamHack Masters. I think we were casting together, and Furia had like triple upset at most of the rounds. And he's just like, more off equals win. So
I've seen that.
you know, you gotta listen to Art. He's mad genius.
He's mad, and he's a genius. He's also a really nice guy. Ecol has been looking much better than he looked yesterday on Nuke. Again, Nuke T-side, you know, it's never that
Furia.
easy. Yeah, especially against Furia with Art right in your face trying to punch you.
But try to use the AWP as a shotgun. That's literally what you have to do at that point.
But on a map like Dust2, you know, you have the freedom to roam around, you have more avenues available to you, and I feel Order are doing a pretty good job trying to set him up as well. Junior, though, with a scout, he can be deadly.
When he's not reloading.
When it's not reloading. And when he has a scope weapon, Dinko. But 6-3, still early days. Those who are just tuning in, it is a map pick coming from Order. It's a bit of a punish pick here. And it's a map that Order are historically very, very comfortable on, with the caveat being that most of the teams have played have been, you know, from down under. For those of you who don't know the OC the scene that well, you know, they can be called the second or third best team. I think it's a tie between them and LFO looking for Org. And of course, the best team right now is obviously Renegades.
Yeah, a lot of these players familiar with the OC scene and Complexity as well.
True.
30 seconds left. Here come Order through the mid doors. Grim at the ready. P250 good for one AK out as well. Floppy helped him out. And he's still actually alive right now. He'll drop back in again. Junior scope. Oh, he's hit shots. Elsewhere, JT with a kill. Not like this Order. Not against these weapons. Floppy gets cleared out by Ecol. And now JT in the site. He spotted the head coming through the window. Jumping up on top. He's hit the shot. And now they're low for Junior. Oh, no. He missed the shot. And what is going on in this round? Oh, Order at least win it. And look at the sigh of relief on Ecol's face. They've got over that hurdle. But my God, that could have been an absolute disaster.
What the hell was that?
That's woke you up in the morning, Blight. You don't need the coffee. You just need this round of Counter-Strike.
Oh, this is, oh my lord.
I'm sure the Aussies were absolutely sweaty.
That was the ugliest round we've seen in this tournament. But hey, for Order, they still come out on top, and they've finally completely broken the economy of Complexity down to just the USPs. But my, oh my, that was ugly. That was very ugly indeed. Estillo,
come on. Catch him in the lobster trap.
Get one. There we go.
He's got it. Still in with one. Gets caught by Grimm's P250. And now they realize the numbers are rushing middle. The MAC-10 can come out below a tunnel. The rest of the Order squad will move their way towards A via long. Backside just covering off the smoke at long doors. For this point, Order, you know, they lose too many players in that last round play. So this is a very great opportunity. It's almost essential to limit the casualties here and rebuild that economy.
I feel like both teams have lost too many players in the rounds they've won.
Yeah, pretty much every round.
Every round. Like, I don't think we've seen, apart from, I think, round number 2, where Grim got that 4K against just the pistols.
Yeah.
Almost every round has been just very, very sweaty from both the sides. Not feeling very comfortable at all. Jara looking to hunt down the remaining players. Right now, Floppy and Fang are playing a game of Get Down, Mr. President, looking to protect Grim from any aggressors. And Grim, with an AK at that range, should be able to stave off Jira. Valiant and Ecol finding the last 2, so yeah, AK saved, but for Order, they're going to be pretty happy with this Dinko. Again, just a USP, they don't make any mistakes, just losing is still sure they lose the AK-47, but that's alright, because they are now 1 round away from tying things up. And looking at the way the game started with the TK and things looking messy, I kind of had a nagging fear that Complexity would just run away with this half, but we might have a half and potentially a game in our hands.
Yeah, Complexity looked pretty shaky themselves, right? I think it's fair to say, you know, you were seeing a couple of mistakes come out from them and some re-aggression that hasn't exactly worked. So Order have been given some early opportunities to settle into the game, and that's something they haven't been able to do so far. At ESL Challenger, they haven't been able to. They got a lot of server time. it's quite a brutal format. You know, you lose 1v1 at the start of the day, and things can get a little rough. Junior holds in towards top middle. No one peeking in towards him just yet. A slow round from Order, and this is much more of the default stance to try and catch off some of that complexity aggression. And complexity have actually called a stop to some of that aggression already.
Yeah, forcing them to Order are forcing complexity to just respect them right now, and they're doing a great job here. And like you said, slower round coming out from both the sides. Waiting is Eagle, looking to find someone towards mid. For complexity, just going to be sticking with just a solitary AWP on the hands of Junior. JT with the A1. We have 3 players here towards the A bomb side, and the way Order are posturing, it is looking like the inevitable hit towards A. But Valiance towards long, he is going to be instrumental in getting the flank and potentially taking down the player towards long, that is Grim.
Junior's in a pretty tough position here to fall back. You know, if they usually go flash, they catch him out.
He's got Fang.
Yeah, he's got Fang, but, you know, still in a tight angle that Fang wouldn't be able to see the top stairs player. So if they have good spacing here, Order, they could trade out this AWP relatively easily. Gonna start throwing their mid to B utility, but it's all a ruse. In fact, they're going in towards this catwalk take, and Junior holds it, misses the shot, and there we go. As soon as you miss that shot, your teammate's not in a good enough position to get you out of there, and Junior goes down. Fang's turn to hold, he doesn't get a single kill on the anchor position. Not a single kill yet for Complexity. This is looking rough for them. Grim trying his best. It's Valiance who's going to catch him on the flank as well. That lit lurk from long.
Look at how low they are.
He somehow gets 2, and yeah, they're low as hell right now. This bomb is planted, but Complexity's starting to back away.
It's unconfirmed damage on, I do believe.
They don't have a kit either.
Yeah, they don't have kit either, and they have just the one smoke to work with. And for them, why this side is almost unretakeable is because Valiance is towards long. They know where he is. And Valiance, just all he has to do is just stay alive here towards pit, and it's almost, they can't just even attempt to go for this particular retake. So holding on to the 2 A1s. And you called it, you know, pretty brave posturing coming out from Junior with that angle, but like you said, you missed the shot. There's no time for you to fall back. Because if you're holding an angle a little bit more deeper, where you can see the bottom of the stairs, you have the 1 or 2 seconds to fall back towards long, even drop towards CD spawn.
Yeah.
But it just fell apart, and not quite helped out by the fact that Fang and Grim were not able to do anything either.
Like, look at this spot. It's just not great.
It's rough.
And, you know, at least if you have a rifle there, it's closer that can take that immediate swing down and short. Maybe you can trade it out, but yeah, let's not beat around the bush. Junior should have hit that shot. Should have got at least 1 kill from that. Fang also should have got at least a kill. And if they just get 1 pick each, that's fine. You know, you have a real shot. Yeah, it's still winning that round, but they don't get a single kill on the initial hold. Complexity's fragging output, which is what you would say they have a lot of. Not really clicking right now. Order in a very good position, about to take the lead. Both of the rifles pushed in towards lower tunnel.
I like it. I like how they're just going to be grouping up together. They won't be expecting floppy. Tucked in. They wait patiently. The timing. Oh, the timing is massive! It doesn't matter because Vexite pops both their heads. Oh, that should have been an easy 2 or 3K, but Vexite is Spider Sense tingling, and he sends them straight 6 feet under.
Vexite came out to watch the eclipse. Both of those heads just crossing at the exact perfect time to allow him to line them up. Yeah, he's bringing him down under with him.
All right, Daddy.
It's too early for this, blah.
I mean, you got to keep cracking dad jokes. I'm gonna say whatever it takes to make you stop it. Anyway, Jira's he knows the other players are in, just with the pistols, so he knows that Fang and Junior are most probably inside of tunnels. We'll try to save these 2 rifles. He's going to try and hunt them down. The peek comes out, but Fang is clean on the headshot. And for Order, it's really not worth going for this. But no, actually they got money. They can still go for this. Eagle's going to find Fang, and somehow Junior will survive with the AK-47. And for the side of Order, though, just with 2 rounds remaining, they're flush at cash. They're looking good. This has been a pretty good resurgence. And I gotta say, it feels like a whole different team compared to what we saw in Nuke yesterday. Yeah. Even the beginning of the first few rounds, I was like, okay, Oil are really struggling, right? Maybe the mental's not up to the mark yet, but this is looking like the sort of team who could potentially pull off this upset map wins. Yeah,
and it feels like Complexity are a team that Order can actually feel a little bit more comfortable up against. And it only took a few rounds to go their way early in this game for Order to just look like a completely different team to what we've seen in ESL Challenger so far. You know, they're willing to take fights, they're willing to push, which is something they didn't do a whole lot of yesterday against Furia. And this is starting to really warm up into an exciting game for Order. Fine goes down in his attempted aggression through short. Vexite just ready for that. You know, they're so aware of Complexity's aggression, but finally that refrag from Grim comes through. That long push, he's died to it a couple of times, but it's worked out this time for the trade.
JT trying to triangulate the source of those shots coming out from mid. Not quite able to land a wall bang. Grim, again, the forward positioning. This time, though, he doesn't push any further. And he's in a very good spot here. They don't flash him off the angle. No! He just runs and Eagle waiting patiently. And he has not been missing too many shots, though. But Junior surely is. But a flick this time will land. Looking for more is Junior. That goes to the re-peek, but the flashbang is going to blind him. And Jira able to get the trade now with a 2v3 to Stillo coming in, sneaking into the B bomb side. And once he gets control of this, they can fall back, but they don't have much time. 35 seconds. They can still go for the commit. And Stillo is trying to gather information. He knows where both the CTs are, and he's going to probably ask him to fall all the way back towards B while he pushes down further towards CT spawn. This is a brilliant play coming from Stillo. They have no idea.
Yeah, and the op's not going to clear this angle effectively, right? It's just going to be easy for Stillo to take him down. And now his position given away, but he's already done enough damage to seal the deal here. Floppy will tap him away, gets Stillo out from in front of the truck. Floppy trying to catch the bomb as it crosses over to the site, but Vexite with a little bit of time looking to get it down. Floppy, nearly had a chance in the 1v1. But Vexite quick to the headshot at window. 8 rounds already confirmed for Order. They have already won this half by the minimum of 1 round. Complexity's money, not fantastic heading into the last round of this half blow. It's enough for a good buy, but they're lacking utility here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Order are doing a very, like they started doing in the beginning itself, just forcing Complexity to respect them. And even when they go for the aggress towards lower tunnels, Grim pushing towards long, they've been caught off guard multiple times. Eco, okay. I think there was a Molotov there, and I also do believe he might have tagged a player.
Eco's smurfing right now, dude.
He's just making this look so easy. 15 and 8. And Junior, he's got to be scalped.
That's like so 1-1 stuck. He's like over the top immediately, just firing shots down. Echo's just so ready for it. Man, advantage picked out for Order. You're still very close to dying, but still walking, and actually going to get the AWP.
Well, you know, you might be far away from NA, but Bogdan's Law will always be there. But the timing was absolutely terrible for Stillo. And
he's alone.
He was alone and so far away from the rest of his teammates.
I guess he was just trying to get him into pit and just trying to get him into the pit position so you can cut off rotations. But, well, they go back B, but that hasn't worked.
This is a good call, though. Vexite, he's heard the flashbangs towards long. He knows the 2 players there. They have to keep one in towards mid, probably watching Cat or maybe towards double doors. So the obvious conclusion you can draw from here is going to be 1 player towards the B bomb site right now. That player, however, is JT, and he's been pretty solid thus far with the AWP, but now 40 seconds on the clock. They seem to be wanting to go back towards this A split. Fang knows this. He hears it. Nope. They're going to be pushing 3 players, peek him together. They're going to isolate the 1 player towards the B bomb side. Vexite waiting patiently to find Floppy, and 1 by 1 Complexity fall.
Yeah, Floppy just B-hopping into him, thinking that's going to be the B split. Didn't expect anybody to still be outside of long. And now Grim is left in a position where he has to hold for the final 20 seconds, and Jira takes him out of play. It's down to JT to try and at least salvage a 7th round here for Complexity. It started somewhat strong for the North Americans, but it has gone flat completely. Order smashing them around in the recent rounds. 9-6 half for the Australians as they lead the way. We're going to a short break, but when we bounce back, we'll see if Order can close this and take their first map win of the tournament. Now head to the CT side. I think I'll jump by Blight for this one. And, you know, looking at the Aussies, they've impressed me. I think in particular, Echo is looking incredible.
Echo and Vexite, right? Like, he is the one guy I've always... if you look at his team and you're like, which play would you pick? It has to be Vexite. And he's really delivered here, looking fantastic. Everyone actually doing the job. I think there's been some really cool calling coming from Stillo as well, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. Right now, for Complexity, despite a pretty hot start to the series, to the map, it has definitely cooled down quite a bit. Echo, top fragging in the server, spots one out, he hears the footsteps, he knows a multitude of these Ts all the way towards mid, and is looking to at least find one duel being given to him. Junior's got a lot of utility. He doesn't really want to commit to this fight, but it is going to be a 5-man hit coming in towards the A bomb set from Cat. And the first contact they're going to be making is with Dust2.
Dust2 under pressure first. Can he find this opening headshot? They start to push in towards him. Flash is good to get him off the angle. Follow-up is also solid. Dust2 just completely blinded this entire round. He runs back in towards long. Complexity with utility. Find their way on towards the site, confirming at least a bomb plant, but Floppy's found the first kill of the round. Junior holding off the flank as well. He's got this backsided play. Valiant's running right into his Glock. Oh, Junior, that was so free.
No.
Oh, no. Suddenly back into the 4v4. Fine, playing towards short. Valiant, he's tucked in the corner. Oh, what a shot from Grim onto the right side, and Fine gets aggressive alongside of him. Still 2 players up for order.
No
They're on
kit.
towards the site. No kit, but they tapped him into the fight. They tap all 3, and Jira is only good for 1. It's not enough. Complexity will take the pit still in the second half.
No utility for order for that retake. No kits either. I mean, they needed to take fights there. But great work from Complexity. They had a play in mind. They had the smokes and the flashes. Going for the full execute on the pistol round here. They get the bomb down. And sure, yeah, you know, Junior, he's been struggling a little bit. But Complexity's like, you know what? Screw this. We're missing a shot. Let's just group up together, triple peak every single fight. And they come on top. Grimothy doing a fantastic job. He's spotted MB5. Yes! Barely ever get to see that.
For a reason, Blah. For an
Shut up! Shut your face! I like my MP5, alright?
It's put in the game for the boomer. It's just like a classic knife, isn't it?
Yeah, fair. Floppy is definitely not a boomer, though. He is just popping them CTs towards longest Tula out in the open. He gets yet another tag, but he won't be able to survive.
Let's go, Grim. Let's get a kill with it.
Oh, no.
MP5. Backside brings him down. This is winnable, Blah. 1 versus 2. One of them's low. Vexide's been a beast so far.
It's a gap.
Oh, no. Backside playing from CT spawn. At least it looks like this plant is going to go down for long. Junior is in that post plant position already. JT's going to set it up for the long post plant. He can then just play safe inside of the site. Vexide is still only got the deagle right now. He wants to slip his way through the smoke. Junior isn't watching this, so Vexide can actually get close towards the site. And JT could be eliminated from play. Suddenly you can figure out the bomb is planted for long, and maybe you got a shot, but with those whiff shots, now Junior should come in from the flank, and he will take down Vexide. It was winnable there for order, but at least Complexity pull through.
Yeah, like, if Floppy hadn't got all 3 kills too early on, there was a world that could have potentially gone the way of order. Nice attempt from Vexide, but yeah, once he missed the first shot, Junior immediately coming in from behind, pinstering him. That's the thing with a deagle, right? Like, either you hit the first 1-bullet dig headshot or you just whiff all 6 bullets.
Yeah, especially now as well, because the body shots, you know, don't
been nerfed
kill
as well.
too, right?
Yep.
So it's like very difficult when you miss that first shot.
Just be better, man. Just aim.
Just hit the head. That's what Harry Russell would say. Why not just shoot them in the head?
Well, they are not shooting them in the head, but they are somehow coming out on top here with the pistols, Dinko. Body shots coming in with the P250 and the USPs. And AK-47 will be retrieved. Make that 2. And man advantage, although, even though the player advantage is against opposition. Oh no, backside with the USP, but Floppy reads him. Just 1 bullet from the silenced USP, and Floppy immediately pounces on Vexed. So it's a 3v3. And if more, let's be real, this is an impossible retake. Just save the AK-47s, play the next round.
This is a great round from Order just to get those AK-47s into their hands. CT economy is so essential to build it up. Not so much on Dust2 to get all that utility in, but more the fact that if you can just keep buying, right? If you have those AKs, they're really going to help you out. You can save that extra reserve cash. So you can just keep getting the rifles out round after round. Complexity have shown us that they haven't got the cleanest system in place right now. You know, the fundamentals have been a little off at times. They have lost some rounds they shouldn't so far on Dust2. So if it does delve into that scrappy CS we see in the first half, Blah, Order having some extra cash on the CT side is essential. And Eccles looking for another kill. Just couldn't quite get it. Fine held him off. And they will save in behind the car. So 9-9 Complexity coming into the second half and pulled those 3 rounds that they were behind by back to the even odds. And now Order will get the buyout. Eccles straight onto the AWP. Rifles around it. This is the round for Order to post in the board.
The final 6-7 rounds of the first half was basically Order just pulling Complexity strings like a master of puppets, right? Just completely controlling them. They were forcing out of rotations, catching them off guard. In all parts of the map, towards lower tunnels, towards long, Grim was he was just being read so easily by the likes of Valiant and Vexide. Long fight taking place, however, Jara trapped inside of the pit. Molotov will be extinguished, and there's a bit of a gap there in the smoke, so Grimathy holding the angle. Ekel needs to be careful. The peak comes in, and Grim will find what has been the danger man, the problem guy for the side of Complexity thus far.
Oh, Jara gets caught. Grim just swinging right in towards him. Floppy on the follow-up as well towards Long. And this smoke can go down in towards CT. Junior gets caught by Vexside as well. So, yeah, Complexity in a pretty good position with the numbers, but a couple of players are low. Grim and JT have taken significant damage to that HE. That's going to soar in. That's surely going to eliminate JT from play. If it goes far enough, it won't.
Ooh.
It will not go deep enough, but that one will, and Fang is now down. So Grim and JT, two extremely low players. Floppy is the player you have to keep eyes on towards Long, though, and I think the Order's starting to realize they're not really close enough to warrant a retake attempt together, and then Floppy actually goes to the aggressive peak, catches out the one player needed, and Valiant's off to the safe call with that AK. So Complexity take the lead. First gun round, relatively clean. They do take damage, but for the most part, solid round from Complexity. They now take double figures.
I like the aerial bombardment coming from Vexside there. Huge damage with the HEs. Obviously, a result from the nade changes we saw a while ago. It's kind of interesting how when the changes took place, there were a lot of experts, pros, ex-pros, coaches, everyone saying how a majority said it's going to be a complete meta changer, but it really hasn't made too much of a difference overall. I think the biggest impact it's had is Dust2, especially this A-bomb side towards Cat.
Yeah, I think also Inferno, the utility dropping, like you don't have to use that A rotator as much, like because you could just drop the nades there early over towards B, so you have an extra set of util at B if you need. So yeah, it's cool. It's the little changes, and I think in Counter-Strike, if you can make little changes like that, they don't really break the game entirely, but do add a little change here and there. That's the perfect one.
Listen, it's a formula that's worked for 20 years, right? Like we don't need updates.
We don't like change really here.
Yeah, we don't need updates every 3 months to freshen things up. That's why I play this game, Denko. That's the only thing I play nowadays. It's ingrained in my mind.
But it's like automatic. You sit down and you just go for it. There's no thinking involved.
Exactly. Which is how we play matchmaking. Anyway, getting back into the game. Complexity, yeah, signs of life being shown by the NA side as they look to win their very first game and their very first map in, I think, the past 7 they've played thus far with this lineup. But Order are not going to be going down without a fight thus far, though it's been a little quiet. The first real test for Complexity against Rifles, they came out with shining colors. And for Order, they have the buy, Dinko. Utility is a bit sparse. However, there's still a lot of time here for Complexity to work with. A couple of Incendiaries and a handful still in Vexside. And that is a flick and a half from Ekel. Holy hell. Goodbye, Floppy.
Goodbye, Floppy, indeed. Lovely shot from Ekel. We'll see if he can continue that. He's looking for another one here towards the B tunnels. Junior scoped in at the moment. Ekel needs to be careful. He's about to peek down, and he even takes down Junior. Bomb down in the tunnels. Ekel has given Order a 2-man advantage, and he's got eyes on the bomb. Smoke is there, tried to time it. Luckily, they do recover that bomb back. Now JT on board with him. He's starting to try and create a little bit of space forward, knowing that his teammates have died towards B. He needs to snatch back some map control at the least. And oh, good crosshair placement and another follow-up from JT. Oh, Stillo and Jira. I'm sure Jira thought he had that easy trade.
Man, if they lose this round after the 2K from Ekel, I'd be a little tilted if I was him. Backside, utility. He's got Incendiary, and that is gonna, well, it's not really gonna affect the bomb from going down a little bit off. They thought they were gonna be planning for Cat. Instead, it's gonna be a plant for Long. Grimathy gonna be moving up, grouping up towards short with Fang. The peak, the timing of the peak here towards Elevator is perfection. Grim and Fang, they team up together, find Vexside. Now Ekel swapping over to the AK-47. Coming in from short, but Fang and Grim simultaneous frags coming out. And that's a hell of a round from Complexity. Honestly, Order 5v3 in that situation, it should never have slipped out of the hands. But JT, the IGL, like a snake in the grass, leading by example.
And it's how decisive he is to do that, right? As well, your teammates go down the tunnels so early. Sometimes you can be flustered trying to figure out, okay, well, the bomb's actually dropped in the tunnels right now. But still makes the decision to play towards that short take and just taking that map control back so quickly. There's no information gathering from Order. The player who was playing A Anchor was actually just sitting back in Goose, so we still had no info. There was actually a player walking up short, so a little lack of info for Order. Complexity going for a quick short take. This is very fast indeed.
They're wasting no time, but Jara is going to clothesline JT and Fag. Okay. You got to remember, Eccles coming in from behind as well, and now we have 4 CTs lying in wait. Jara looking for more. The boost comes in, but Grim and Junior replies back, and Junior now is no-scoping everyone amongst the smoke. Eccles from behind. They're all low, and AK-47 picked up, but Junior has finally arrived seemingly in the server with a very, very crucial 3K. But holy hell, Dinko, that got a little scary.
Yeah, Junior has been posting some numbers. There's just not as many opportunities being taken as you would like to see from him, but can be very good in these chaotic situations. He's just moving around, great movement to be able to take these shots, and chaos is what he thrives in at times. But 12-9 complexity, 4 away from taking this map win. Orders map pick is whoa! Flick up from Junior, hits the shot. Oh, Echo, you're not liking that one.
That has to be a wrist breaker, man. Like, if he gets that shot.
It's a mind breaker for Echo as well. If you go down to that, it's ridiculous.
Limping along on 19 points of health, but he's got Vexite to cover, and Vexite needs to be careful here. Fang is going to be looking for the trade. He finds one, his escape route cut off by the Incendiary. That's going to allow Jara to go for that 1v1 duel, which he will come out on top of. A 4v3, man advantage for Order. However, they do have to deal with the fact that Ekel is bleeding, but he has the AWP.
Yeah, that's the problem. In this position, so many AWPers should be good for one. They have to get him off the angle with a flash, and it's good. The last flash thrown in forces his position back, but they don't have the follow-up, and so now he can just shoot them as they run down to the site. JT removed from play, but Grim tucks his head down, takes down Echo, and now we're looking into the 3 versus 2 order with the advantage, but not for long. Grim somehow finds a double and pulls it back into the equilibrium. 2 versus 2 as Justillo starts to come out towards long, has spotted the head of the AWPer and takes down Junior. It's all on Grim. 2 kills, he needs to double and can't do it. Valiant holds for the CT drop, and it is not going to be a complexity 13th. It's Order who reached double figures.
Still got a little scary. Grim. He did have his struggles towards slow on the CT side, but he has definitely woken up here on the T side. And yeah, for the side of Order, a much needed round here on their CT side. They haven't won. This is the first time they've won thus far. In, I think, what, like 6 rounds we've had so far in the second half. So a much needed little bit of wind in the sails. Question is it going to be enough? Because complexity, even when it seemed the chips seemingly look bad for them, they're somehow able to bounce back. Somehow these 3v4s, 3v5s, able to bring it back, and everyone delivering, actually. We've even seen Junior wake up with the AWP. We've seen Floppy just continuing to be a force to be reckoned with, and Grim coming alive. It is what is really terrifying. As Justillo, he is not isolated. He's got 4 of his teammates, rather 3 of them waiting, but Floppy somehow finding a kill on the Valiant. Vexa replies back, and this is absolute pandemonium. But Justillo is going to come out on top and going to chomp down on the 2 members of complexity out long, but JT is gonna fight both of them, and now the 1v2. Absolute chaos, Dinko, and Ekel once again having to deliver with his trusty AWP, but Grim finds him. What was that round?
JT is actually frying in big time right now for his team.
Oh my god.
So many decisive rounds on his T side where he's actually just found some ridiculous 2Ks. That is fantastic from JT. It was still,
there were 4 CTs at long.
It was just blow for blow, and is still able to step up. Looked like he'd done enough. They were trying to force him out of the pit, still in that spot. But JT, man, another impactful 2K from him. Oh, that's gotta feel heartbreaking for Order, who have some money in the bank, but it's not enough to scrap together a buy. So we're looking at complexity, likely pushing to 14 rounds. Order starting to run out of opportunities now to get into this. This gun round that's coming up after this round, Blood, this really becomes one of their last legs to stand on.
After you still got that 2K, that should be the round just sealed. But as I said, JT just able to isolate the fights right there, just taking it. And Grim's position, there was no way Echo was expecting that, right? So just very unfortunate. We do have a timeout getting called by the boys from Down Under. It is going to be just a bit of a light investment. They have that extra cash, but you know, it's not enough for a full-fledged buy. So pistols abound for the majority of the CTs, a little bit of Kevlar as well. For complexity, it's a full buy. This time, the fast hit towards B. Go A, go B, and Vexite having to answer the call of duty.
Yeah, and they've actually avoided the stack. They have 4 players to order towards A at the start of this round, and complexity have taken the B site. Taking back B, when you have a full buy, Blah, it is hard. You can't really expect to pull it off with nothing but a smoke, a couple of pistols. So, Complexity make the right call to charge into B. They dodge the stack, they come into this B site, and it's 14 rounds for Complexity. Order, you know, we're looking at this next round as the most important for them in this tournament so far. If you want to have a shot at winning it, I don't think they can do it on Vertigo, right? The fact that we're looking at Vertigo, it should be Complexity taking that one. So Dust2 is a must for Order to pick up if they want to stay alive in this competition.
Even if they do pick Dust2, and even if it does go to map number 3, Ancient is a map Complexity.
Yeah, it's very
love
difficult
playing.
Here. Yeah, and in Order, just having some more game time. If they want some more of that in this competition, they want to go to a third map, they have to try and pick up Dust2 here, and this is their last standby. They lose this, starting to look like it's done.
Last chance saloon, potentially for Order on their map pick, as the buy is going to be coming in. Ekal once more with a trusty AWP, but win or lose, I'm going to say, like, standing for this team, just listen, give him the contract, sign him up.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic.
He's looking very good right now. I think he's getting a lot of fans in the Oceanic region.
Yeah,
even yesterday, you could see little glimpses, even though he didn't do a whole lot versus Furia, you could see glimpses of it. But here we are, Vexite in the lower tunnels with some aggression, traded out 1-for-1. Grim goes down early, but reply is there. Gyra looking to actually push forward with Ekal. They look to try and go for some sort of boost, but Eccles decided he wants to actually be a little bit more proactive, taking matters into his own hands. But you have to be aware, you can't go too far around that corner. Junior's actually trying to encroach here alongside JT.
Bit of noise being made, but I don't think JT was close enough to hear. Footstep.
Oh,
the
JT!
timing could not have been worse. And that's also the worst angle with an AWP.
Yeah.
And Ekal, unfortunately, this time he will fall. And JT, he is just a headhunter, Dinko.
He really is. He's being crisp in this second half, but here comes Complexity with the numbers spacing off. JT was alone. Junior trying to trade it. Still on the timing. Could it be worse? Decides to pull out a secondary. Junior coming in with a double kill and flying out towards long. It's just the support network that Complexity need. It is all on Valiance to the save call and Complexity to map point.
I gotta say though, like, compared to the latter rounds in the first half, Complexity on this T side, they've looked fantastic. Sure, there were a couple of rounds which got a little close, but it's just how decisive they are in the plays they were going for, and Order just not able to respond back in time. These are fast rounds on Complexity, right? And even when Order are able to maybe win some of the opening duels, and Ekal with the AWP, finding a kill here or there, JT, how many rounds has he just brought it back, just lurking out?
He's found some of the most important rounds, just
absolutely
keep Complexity.
And just to keep breaking the money with these rounds.
Yeah, on the path, right? And that's the thing, Order didn't really get control of the economy for a long time because JT's breaking them at every opportunity. But 15-10, Complexity 1 round away from breaking their loss streak on maps. Again, we pointed out Vertigo as the second map of the series, looking very good for Complexity overall. For Order, I mean, the expectation for this team, they're the lowest ranked team coming into this. We know that they're being stuck out in their region just playing against lower opposition. This is a great opportunity to garner some experience. And I think what I've seen from them gives me a lot of hope for the future that we might see some of these players crop through. But here we are, Complexity up 15-10. A little bit proactive play here from Order. Straight in towards the lower tunnels with a double setup. Ekal actually peeking down short as well, but it's a long tip for Complexity. They should actually have the info here on Order that this is happening.
Yeah, but they're still taking a sweet time. They're wary of the possibility of Junior just holding the angle towards Suicide, towards mid, but now they're slowly going to be peeling back. Gyra slowly making his way up towards Cat. 4 players now lying in wait as the hit will be coming in for Complexity. The smokes are going to be blooming, the flashes are going to pop, and the hit is going to be coming in for what could potentially be the final round of this map.
The numbers are here for Order. Jira has found the first of the rounds. Is still on the follow-up, getting traded out by Floppy. At least it is still the advantage with Order into the final minute on this clock. Complexity yet to get onto the site, but Ekal, that was his chance, but luckily Vexite takes Floppy out of play. It's down to Junior and Fine, and in one foul swoop, they're out of the round. 11 for Order. They will survive for at least another round, Blah.
On the precipice, Denko, 4 more needed for them to take this to OT. And I wish we saw more from Order, a round like this from Order, a little bit earlier. Right now, there's no margin for error. One slip-up, one tiny mistake. And sometimes, even if you don't make a mistake, the timing is not going your way, or maybe just getting CSGO'd, and it's just going to be Complexity taking the series, hitting round number 16. Junior is gonna find Echo. I like the little attempt at the bait coming in from Vexite, but unfortunately Junior won't be falling for it.
And it's tough here for Order now. You're down a player. It has to be a perfect 4v5 conversion just to get 12 rounds. It's another kill, this time for Jira, so back into that 4v4. They have converted it back to even numbers again, Blah.
Crucial kill to find, especially on Grim, who's just been looking absolutely...
Gap on the right side, shadow advantage. Jira's got the kill, no problem. Fine goes down. Suddenly, from a man advantage to complexity at the beginning of the round, to Order being ahead in the player count.
JD's still alive. JD's still
alive, yeah, the impact player, the absolute DM god himself.
Great
Jira gets flashed in, but Junior dodges it. Easy kill for him as the numbers once again at an equilibrium. Complexity do not want to barrel around that short corner. They want to group up, they want to congregate back into middle, and maybe a B conversion could happen here.
The flank though, JD has been fantastic. Some of these aggro lurks coming out. Floppy is making a lot of noise alongside Junior towards mid, and these sounds are being heard here by Vexite. There's no one on the B bomb side. Valiant and Vexite setting up Crossfire. He can just walk out towards B and get a free kill.
Yeah, and JT's throwing that deep contact smoke, so he can actually just clear as much of the site as possible. Valiant brings himself back into the site. He's going to transition his position to Car. This should be the next position, the Complexity check, and it will be. JT with the entry headshot. Advantage with Complexity in the final 30 seconds, and Junior's in a position to cut off rotation, so the support network back to B is going to be difficult for the cross of Vexite and Justillo. They're throwing utility down, but Junior on the flick up, and the follow-up for Junior is good. It is closed. Complexity take Dust2, and that is the map pick of Order going the other way. Complexity's lost streak on maps finally comes to an end, Blah.
Yeah, they still need to win a series though, but yeah, a good win for Complexity. For the side of Order, there were good signs on that first half.